The PoPolitickin Show is brought to you by Audible. With over 180,000 titles to choose from, Audible is great for any continuous learner wanting to grow and expand their knowledge and insight. Go to www.audibletrial.com/POAudio and get an audiobook of your choice free with a 30-day trial. After the trial, your paid membership will begin at $14.95 per month. With your membership, you will receive 1 credit every month, good for an audiobook on Audible. Cancel before your trial ends and you will not be charged. So go to www.audibletrial.com/POAudio and download a free book by Tony Robbins, Grant Cardone, Napoleon Hill, Les Brown, Damon John, and more. Always remember that knowledge is power.
PoPolitickin.com.
Welcome back to PoPolitickin.com, your home for self-help meets hip-hop. Make sure you go on Spotify. We're on Apple, iHeartRadio. Type in PoPolitickin. Listen to all our interviews. Over 10 years worth of knowledge and game. 1-2-1-2. I'm in the place to be with Michelle Tulloch. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you, Paul?
I'm doing fantastic. Living my best life.
That's good.
And Michelle,
That's awesome.
yeah, Michelle is the owner of Anytime Tax Service. So I just wanted you to kind of tell us about yourself and then how you started the business.
Yes. I started Anytime Tax Service because I wanted to help others with their taxes, help them to better understand certain things that's going on, because they hire a professional for one reason, and that's to assist them with things that they are not aware of. And that's how my tax business started. And then I also introduced credit repair because I noticed that some of my clients, they had issues. They made good money, but over the years, they weren't managing their credit well, either because they do not know or life just happened. So they end up with bad credit scores or delinquent accounts and stuff like that on their credit.
So what all do you do, like far as the company?
I do tax preparation. I do corporate and individual taxes.
Mm-hmm.
I also assist small business owners to set up their corporations, and I do credit repair services.
And then, like, far as I don't know, far as like, our race in general, they might not be educated why credit and stuff like that is important. You know, it might be kids listening to this, so let them know like why credit and doing their taxes is important.
Taxes, we all have to pay taxes if we make a certain amount. So it is important for you to pay your tax, to file and also pay your taxes. And I have clients who haven't filed in like years, and then they go to purchase a home or they want to make a big purchase where they need their tax return, and they have nothing to provide to the lenders. So they're pretty much stuck, and then they're trying to get everything done at the same time. In regards to credit is very important. It's even so more now than ever, because even employers are looking at your credit if you go for a new job. Lenders, that's how they decide if they're going to give you that loan or what interest rates you receive. And also for like utility bills, if you want to rent a home, if you want to purchase a home, if you want to purchase a vehicle, everybody is asking you for credit. Like if you don't have a credit history, then they're looking at you as if you are not trustworthy. You won't be able to pay back your loan.
But I would say so. But what if you pay everything like you just pay the lump sum in cash? Like, why would you need credit then? Like, if you just really just save the money and just pay everything. If a car costs $30,000, you just pay for it $30,000. Like, why do you still need credit for stuff like that?
No, you wouldn't. If you're purchasing everything cash, if you can afford it, then no. You do not need credit for those purchases. You just need credit for things that you're going to need a bank's assistant acquiring. That's the only time you would need credit.
And then, like, how many? Because that's why I'm learning through experience. So how many? Like, I feel like you shouldn't really. Now I'm learning. Like, you shouldn't be using credit cards as much, and you got to be careful with those credit cards because you get those interest rate, and it kind of you be a cycle. So what do you feel? What's your opinion on credit cards and how we should use credit cards? What should we use them for?
Credit card, unfortunately, is one of the ways that people build their credit. But the best way to do so is to get a secure credit card and try to keep your balance as small as you can. And they recommend to keep it under 30% of your credit limit. And also with your with credit card, do not close it. Like, say for instance, some people can't afford to pay off their credit card bill because they probably just got into a bind and they wanted some extra cash, and then they pay it off and then they close it. That doesn't help. Whenever you close it, it does not help you. So keeping it open and even putting something small in there, probably just purchase lunch for one day and then pay it at the end of the month or pay it the next 2 weeks. That really helps to increase your credit score.
Okay. And what are some key things like people that you kind of teach your clients about credit?
To pretty much only probably get one credit card. And I mostly try to encourage them to do secure loans at their credit union or at your bank, because that's one way to help to build their credit. Especially during the holidays, I'll send them reminders or stuff like that, reminding them not to just go uncharged, because anything can happen. And then you end up stuck with all this credit card bill and no way to pay it. And the worst thing they can do is to have delinquent accounts on their credit, not paying their credit card on time or not being able to pay it at all. Then it gets sent to collections, and that just totally dropped their credit score, like probably 100 points. So I try to tell them to pretty much try to stay away from credit cards for the holiday. Because I see them like January, February. So then I encourage my clients to start saving for the holidays. If it's even $25 per week, every 2 weeks.
I say what you think about, because I was watching a documentary about this. I see the payday loans, those payday loan places, and I see how like you can be trying to get like $500 and that can end up being $5,000. Like, what do you think about those payday loan places?
I would encourage anyone to stay away from those places, or even the title lending places, because I know of friends or clients that end up being sued because they went to these places and then the interest rate got so high and they just couldn't pay it, or they didn't see the point in paying so much when I only wanted $500.
And then what would you suggest? Like, say, like I said, we probably got like a lot of young people listening to the show. So say if somebody's like in there, they probably have like $5,000 to $10,000 saved up. What should they do with it? What would you tell them to do with it? Like, because it's just sitting in their savings. So what should they do with the money? Should they get a money market, CD? What would you suggest? What would they do with it? Or what would you do with it? What would you do with it?
Invest.
Yeah, what would you do?
And that could be investing in a money market account. It could be purchasing stocks. And also there are like banking online, there are online savings account that give you a higher interest rate. Or even start doing a retirement fund planning. Sometimes a lot of young people, especially the millennials, they are mostly entrepreneurs. So they do not, they're young, so they're not thinking about retiring. But retirement doesn't have to come at 65. If they start now, they can retire in their 40s, in their 30s. It just depends on them and who they have handling, they're helping, assisting them with their money. So like going out there and investing in stocks and bonds, or just setting up a retirement plan account, that can be really, really helpful.
And then another
like
thing,
a mutual fund. That's a good one.
Okay. And then another thing I think I forgot about. I know one reason your credit is good to have credit is for home ownership. And then I know there's a lot of people, like, they think they can't afford. I don't know. People, I guess, a lot of people just don't think about buying houses. They just think about renting all the time. But what do you suggest your clients like get a home? Is that better for your taxes, right?
Yes,
or
it
even a
is.
condo, whatever. Just don't be renting.
Because renting, you're pretty much paying for someone else's home when you could be paying for yours. And there are times when clients, because they don't know, they don't they feel as if they just cannot. They just think it's not possible. But it's absolutely possible as long as they work on their credit and they start saving and they at least put together a plan and they speak to a banker or a broker or someone who can guide them into what they're going to need for down payment, what their credit score needs to be, and stuff like that. Because there's benefits to owning a home apart from not renting anymore. You can claim that on your mortgage. If you have a claim it on your taxes, I'm sorry. And you can write off the taxes as well, your property taxes. Those can be written off. If you even have a home office, you can claim that on your taxes as well. So it's really beneficial to own your own home.
Yeah, I didn't know about the home office. You put me on game right there. Yeah, so y'all can claim. So since I'm doing this, I have an office, I can claim that on my taxes.
Yes, you can claim all your expenses, a portion of your utilities.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and I was going to tell you. So, what is the ideal credit score to you? I mean, I know probably the perfect score, but is it even achievable to hit the perfect score, or most people can't have a perfect credit score?
I know of people with over 800 credit score, but what I always encourage my clients to aim for is 720 or higher.
Okay.
720 or higher gives you better interest rates. Banks are more willing to lend, and companies are more willing to hire you because they know that you keep up with your finances, everything is good, you're paying your bills on time, you're keeping your debt low, and stuff like that.
Yeah, so with me, I'm at 754, and I paid off all my credit cards. So all my credit cards are paid off. My car is paid off. Only thing I have to pay, you gonna be Susie Orman right quick. You Susie Orman, you know who Susie Orman is, right? Susie Orman, you know who that is?
Huh?
You know who Susie Orman is?
No.
Oh, but anyway, she's like a financial expert. So anyway, but yeah, I was just hold on. Here you go. But so I was saying so I paid off all my credit cards, and then only thing I have now is my mortgage and my student loans. So how can I get my credit score to like 800 if it's like at 754?
The only way to
And I have like 3 credit cards right now, 3 credit cards, but they're all empty. Like I don't have any balance on them.
You have to keep using them, and that's the thing. That's how we get caught up. Is that you have to keep using them, and it could be doing something small, spending $5, because the credit bureau doesn't care how much you pay off, as long as you pay it. So you have to keep using those cards, keeping them active. Never ever close them. And if you do not use them, then the credit card companies close your accounts.
Okay.
So you have to keep using it. And every time you use it, you pay it off in full, and that will help to increase your scores.
And then I have a lot of friends. A lot of people been telling me about this. A lot of people be like, they're using their card. They were saying like, okay, you have a credit card, and especially if you have a credit card that you get reward points. So they say, use the credit card that month, get all those reward points, and then pay it off before the bill come up.
Yes.
Yeah, I heard.
They're correct. Yes.
Yup.
You don't have to wait for the cycle or for it to be the due date. You can pay it off whenever.
Because if you wait
as long as you keep those cards open, they have to stay open.
But if you wait, won't you get charged interest? And isn't it better to pay it before? Because once you get charged interest,
it is best to pay it and not to wait until the due date or for the next cycle to come around.
Okay.
Because what I encourage some of my clients to do, say for instance, like a store card, and the only way you can get 30% off is if you use the store card. I tell them to put it on it and write a check instantly while they're standing there at the counter. Because I've done that myself. I want the 30%, but I don't want to put it on my card. And I just write them a check. As soon as I swipe it, I write them a check and just pay it off, and I don't get no interest rate. I'm not charged interest for that.
Yeah, you're just using the card to keep it active.
Yes. And to get that 30% discount.
All right. And then, is there anything else you would like to tell the listeners about your business or just about yourself? Anything you want to tell them?
Well, I have been doing this for 3 years, and I really enjoy it. It gives me great pleasure especially when my clients call and they're like, "Oh my gosh, you really helped me," or they call and said that they just purchased their home, they never knew it was possible, and it just makes me feel good that I really helped somebody to obtain something that they never thought they could ever obtain. And I am located in McDonough, Georgia. If anyone has any questions or they need assistance with anything, I can be reached at 470-488-9820.
I want to say thank you for coming on the show.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Good conversation, stuff they need to know. They need to get their money right before this new year hit.
PoPolitickin.com.
Thanks for listening to PoPolitickin.com, a self-help meets hip-hop brand. If you are an artist or business owner wanting to be featured on PoPolitickin.com, contact us at PoPolitickin@gmail.com. That's PoPolitickin@gmail.com or text 760-717-5803. If you're a listener that enjoys the show and wants to support, you can donate to PoPolitickin.com via PayPal.com. Please send donations to PoPolitickin@gmail.com. Any amount will be helpful in continuing to create quality content and shows. As always, check out PoPolitickin.com for past episodes. Make sure you subscribe to PoPolitickin on iTunes, YouTube, Podomatic, Stitcher Radio, and Google Play.